Welcome back to my channel at Busy Dreaming Mom. To begin, I will be cleansing my face with a Burt's Bees facial cleansing towelette to remove oil. I will then be priming my face with the e.l.f. Mineral Face Primer in Brightening Lavender, and I will afterwards be setting the primer with translucent powder. I'm using Bare Minerals. I'm very oily in my T-zone, so I'm setting that very, very well with the translucent powder. Next, I will prime my eyes with the e.l.f. Glitter Primer. I like this because it's thicker than the regular e.l.f. primer, and you do want to set it with a translucent powder or else wait before you go onto your eyes, or else it will make your eyeshadow tacky and clump together. I'm doing my brows with the e.l.f. Cream Liner. I have been using this forever, ever since someone suggested it on Instagram, and I love it. It makes it really easy to do my brows, and if I want to soften up the head of the brow, I will go ahead and just use a little powder, as I will do later in this brow. I notice a lot of people don't like to show how they do their brows when they do their Instagram videos. YouTube videos. I don't know if it's because they don't want people to say rude things, but I don't care. This is how I like to do my brows. If you don't like it, FF, fast forward. Otherwise, enjoy. I will now be using Maybelline Color Tattoo in, Bold Gold. It's a cream shadow. The only thing I don't like about this drugstore product is that it can really harden up in the container, so you will need to either use a wetted brush or saturated brush with either your setting spray. I've been using the e.l.f. Mist and Set whenever I need to saturate my brushes in order to get more pigment or to help cream products glide on better. I am now using from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Artist Palette, Aubergine, and I'm using this as my background crease color. I'm going to cut my crease, but this is going to be in the background. Don't worry about making mistakes and having it look a hot mess. Unfortunately, to be completely honest, these eyeshadows in this palette do have a lot of fallout, and so it's just how the shadows are made. Sometimes there's nothing you can do if a product is a certain way. You just clean up afterwards. So just go ahead and get it on there. We're going to blend, and then when we're done with the eye, we're going to just take a makeup wipe and clean up whatever we don't want. So just do your best. As you can see here, I'm just taking a clean powder brush and wiping up some of the fallout. It didn't get it all. Then what I'm doing is taking the shade Dusty Rose from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Artist Palette, and this is more of my transition color, so it will really soften up the top of that crease color, so that when I go and do my brow highlight, it will just really softly kind of gradate in color up to that brow bone. And again, blending. You cannot rush this. You're done when you're done. So just whatever your blending brush is, just keep going and keep using that until it looks how you want it. Now I'm taking Coal from the Artist Palette, and this actually happened by accident, and I went with it because I liked it. I was just trying to cut out the crease a little bit and really make an outer V, but I kind of ended up doing something different and making a little wing, and so I went with it. So I'm taking a pencil brush and really getting that color concentrated, and it's really important to use a brush that's going to keep your color concentrated when you're doing detailed work. Otherwise, it will just look really unclean and messy. So get the right brush, and it'll take some trial and error to figure it out. I'm left-handed, so sometimes you really cannot see what I'm doing when I'm using my dominant hand. I apologize. Now what I'm doing is, what am I doing? I'm just really blending out the transition and the crease color more and getting them more how I want it. So again, you can't rush this part. You just keep working on it as you go. Now I'm from my Lorac Afterglow palette. I'm using a sparkly gold color and filling in my lid. I'm also putting a bit on the tear duct area, and I then take the e.l.f. Baked Eyeshadow, and this is a bright gold color, and the name of it is Enchanted. I end up using this as a highlight also later on. Now I'm taking again from e.l.f. a cream shadow called Fiesta, and it's just a purple glittery cream shadow. You can do with or without this. I decided to add it because I actually love this shadow and I just couldn't help myself. I'm just kind of deepening that crease a little bit more and creating a little bit more of a gradation of depth. I'm also taking that cream liner and I'm adding it to the bottom. And again, this is a cheaper product, so I should have saturated my brush before I used the product. It would have helped it glide on a bit more cleanly, but I didn't, so I mean, it worked. Now I am taking my concealer and I am carving out underneath my brow bone in order to give a nice illusion of lift and light there. And I am actually using the Almay concealer and brightener duo. It's a Smart Shade CC cream product in medium. And then I'm just blending it out with another brush so that it doesn't look so completely carved. And then I will end up going over that with the shade Buttery, also from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Artist Palette. And also putting a little bit in my tear duct. I cannot stop putting things in my tear duct. Now I'm doing what I talked about earlier and cleaning up. And oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I sneezed. Now I'm curling my lashes and I'm adding my favorite mascara, my go-to. It is NYC's Big Bold Curl. It's a huge brush, so I use it so it's more in a U shape. And then when I do my bottom lashes, I flip it upside down so it's more in a N shape, upside down U. Actually, I didn't do that this time. Hypocrite. I usually do. Now for my face, I don't really wear a full coverage foundation because my skin is usually pretty clear, but I'm using the e.l.f. Tinted Moisturizer in Sand, and I'm using that Almay duo that I just showed you to just brighten up and clean up my under eye a little bit more and make it look a teensy bit sharper. You will notice that I do go ahead and conceal a lot of my nose as well, and the reason I do this is because I normally wear glasses, and the glasses cause indentations on the side of my nose, and so I just go ahead and conceal that so I can kind of have a normal looking nose. I'm also concealing some acne spots, and I'm wetting my beauty blender as I put on the tinted moisturizer. I really like this product. I feel like for the price, it's amazing, and if you don't need tons of coverage and you just want something light for summer, I would definitely go for it. It does have SPF 20 in it, and also claims to have aloe, cucumber, and vitamins A, C, and E. And once again, it is from e.l.f. I did spray my sponge with the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set that I mentioned before, and that also is supposed to have aloe, green tea, cucumber, and vitamins A, C, and E. I don't use this to set my makeup on my face because I don't feel like it actually sets the makeup on my face, so I just use it as kind of a drugstore version of MAC Fix Plus. And I'm just adding a tiny bit more product and stippling it onto the areas where I'm having my acne marks and just making sure that everything else looks okay. And then this is my favorite powder for me to use for my highlighted areas and underneath my eye where I conceal. It's the Laura Geller Balance and Brighten Foundation Powder in medium. I am now contouring. You'll see that I didn't highlight. I just use a tiny bit of lighter powder. I'm not really going for a huge highlight, but I do contour. And you'll see that I add a little extra bit up near my nose, and that's just because I have a really strong face. I blame it on my Native American background. And don't get me wrong, I'm honored, but I just feel like I need to accentuate my features, even though they're already accentuated. I just need to hollow them out a little bit more. So that's why I draw my contour that way. Now I'm adding Black Radiance pressed powder in Ebony, and I'm just reinforcing the cream contour. Also doing some on my nose. I am avoiding the spots where my glasses give me darkness because I've heavily concealed that, and so I don't want to bring the darkness back out. So I'm just very lightly near the top of my nose doing that. I am now taking a blending brush and just really trying to blend that together even better so I can get rid of any harsh lines. This is the finished product. I've added lashes, I've added under eye shadows. The under eye shadows were Aubergine mixed with Baby I'm a Star from the ABH Artist Palette. My lip colors are NYX's Shocking Pink, Wet n Wild's Don't Blink Pink, and Wet n Wild's Mauve Out of Here. I also added the e.l.f. shadow to my cheeks for highlight, and the Lorac bronzer, as well as Milani blush and Luminoso. And I probably bronze with NYC bronzer. I do that all the time. Sleek contour palette also provided even more contour. See, there's a lot that goes into this. Thanks for watching. Come back. Hope I didn't scare you away. Thank you. Bye.